Good evening, everybody, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. I'm back again. This is kind of an impromptu video. I wasn't really planning on making a video today. However, I did kind of want to go over some of my progress. I have full intentions of releasing version 2 of Matilija Aerospace on July 7th by about 7 p.m. Pacific time. At least that's the plan. But I've been working on some things that primarily performance related things, but also like equipment attachment points. Since Bethesda in their infinite wisdom has decided to make it not possible to include any edits and INI edits, I should say, in creations, because of apparent audio issues on Xbox. I've decided I need to work on trying to improve the collision modeling on my things so that snapping them together on the Xbox version should stay fairly vanilla-like. Anyways,
need some work done?
The other issue is, like performance issues with my battle station halves on the Xbox, which I originally thought was simply a polygon count issue because they had a lot of polygons in them. But I actually don't really think it's the polygon count specifically. I think it was specifically the file size. The average module in the vanilla game for ships is between about 250 kilobits and about maybe 1 megabyte in size. Very few modules are bigger than a megabyte in the original or in the vanilla game. And my modules were significantly larger, and my battle stations specifically were closer to about 25 megabytes in size, so about 25 times the size of the bigger vanilla modules. I can't get them down to 1 megabyte. It's just not possible, but I have been able to get them down to about 6 megabytes, and they are significantly smoother to use. Like, they don't have near as many performance impacts as they did. That said, the other modules that I was having issues with were my new M-habs, which I noticed in my last video. There was quite a bit of stuttering when I was making it. And those two, they were pretty darn big. They were around 20 megabytes, and I've gotten them down to about 12. I've tried to reduce them further, but I can't seem to get them below that. So they're still about half the size of what my battle stations were in my version 1 release. So they're still quite a bit more performant than those were now. But unfortunately, 12 meg is about as small as I can get them. And then I also have my new M-habs, which I'm going to go ahead and show off here, because I don't think I've actually shown those yet. But we'll go ahead and we'll get some of these out. Let's go ahead and get... one other thing. So my battle station still has the flippable, port and starboard versions. But now there's also a secondary option, which is an aft version, which has the doors on the front. So that will also be available when I launch this on the 7th. Then of course you've seen my 1x1s, my glass passage and all of these. But so there's my M-habs, and then I also now have A-habs, which also have flips in all directions, and they are 2 stories tall. They have a staircase in them. We can go ahead and just kind of attach it anywhere, it doesn't really matter. And actually here, let's I'll just kind of show you why I made them the shape they are. So they will sit very nice and flush with the M-habs if you flip them like aft and forward. It just allows for a lot of like seamless build. Kind of makes it look a little bit more structurally sound than having big gaps in your ship. Not that any of that matters, but so there's that. Other things that I've added is if you come over to the structural tab. And I've improved a lot of these structural pieces too, as far as like the snapping and that goes. So hopefully won't be near as many issues for people getting those to work on Xbox. But then I've also added these new 1x1 weapon holds, which they hold the same weapons that the battle stations do. There's both top and bottom. So there's the bottom and there's the top. The bottom just has the door on the bottom. Not that any of that really matters. Yeah. So there's all of that. Like I said, I have worked on getting performance issues related. So like I said, my battle stations, they were around 25 megabits. I've gotten them down to about 6. Which I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them any smaller, but I've actually improved the look of them a little bit as well. So, and same thing with these M-habs. Originally, they were a little over 20 megabytes, and I've gotten them down to about 12, and I've actually been able to improve the look of them as well. I added a little bit more detail into them while also reducing the file size. And these A-habs, when I first finished making them, they were about 18 megabytes, and I've gotten those down to about 9 megabytes. So performance related issues should be significantly reduced when I do launch. I've also reduced the file sizes of the V-habs. They were about 6.5 meg originally each, and now I've got them down to about 3. And even like my 1x1s, they were a little over 3 meg when I first made them, and I've got those down to about 2 meg, and like my 1x2s, they're down to about 3 meg. I've improved. I've trimmed basically all of my habs and a lot of my structural pieces to try to make them more performance, or better for performance. Except for my glass habs. Those were all pretty decent performance wise, and their file sizes were never too bad. The worst habs actually now are probably my reactors. Unfortunately, a lot of that has to do with the detail on the interior part of the reactor and not with the exterior. There's not probably much I'm gonna be able to do to reduce the or make them more performant, but they're still nowhere as bad as what my battle stations were. Anyways, so those are those things. Other things that I've worked on is getting my nav mesh implemented in all of my habs, which I'm probably about 70% complete on. And then I'm also working on improving lighting in all of my habs, which that I'm probably only about 30% complete on. But I plan on spending all day Saturday on the 6th working on that. So like I said, my goal is to have it all complete and ready by 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 7th. So I hope everybody appreciates the effort into reducing the performance impact on these, because I've spent a lot of hours this week working on it. Um, and I sure hope it's as beneficial. Unfortunately, I still don't have an Xbox to test it on, but I really do believe that it should be a far better performance-wise on the Xbox once I get the update out. So it's just something to look forward to, and it wasn't initially the reason for version 2. The biggest thing that I wanted to have in version 2 was like my M-habs and my A-habs and my 1x2s and my 2x1s and my 1x1s, all of the extra habs. But I decided to also go ahead and put a lot of effort into improving the performance side of things. Other thing that I fixed, so I had to change the model a little bit on my nose cannon, but it should very easily snap into place once version 2 comes out. I know a lot of people were having, there's weapons. A lot of people were having issues, especially on the Xbox, getting it to snap at all. There it is. But I have changed the model a little bit. It's actually a little bit longer now, and it actually has a lot more detail, but it should very easily snap into place on anything now. Vanilla, my habs, no problems. Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of snap it anywhere where there's a 4 connection point. You can snap it, no problems. So that's one other thing that I've added, or that I've done. I've also been trying to look into, I've had some people say that a lot of my weapons are having trouble snapping on regular snap points, and unfortunately I'm having trouble recreating any problems with those on my game. Like, they all seem to snap perfectly onto the equipment slots without any problems for me. Even when I turn off all of my any edits, I'm not having any issues getting them to snap into place. So I'm not 100% sure what's causing people all of those problems. I will continue to investigate and see if I can't figure it out, but I'm just not having any issues, and it doesn't seem to matter like which weapon I'm using. Here, switch to a different one. Get you to snap. There you go. I can all directions, no problems. Go to a regular weapon equip point, and like I said, I'm having zero issues with that. So I don't know exactly what's causing that. Like I said, I'll continue to investigate and try and figure out exactly why people are having issues, and if I can resolve them. But no promises. All I can promise is that I will try. I can't promise that I'll be able to succeed. But like I said, there's still quite a bit of other things to look forward to. Hopefully I'll figure out what's causing people issues with the weapon connection points on Xbox, but at least for now, I'm kind of stumped on those issues. But that's all I've really got for you today, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Have a great one. Oh, actually, before I go, if you live in the United States, happy 4th of July, and if you live anywhere else in the world, happy Thursday. All right, have a great one.